Welcome to the CrossFit Max podcast.
What is going on, team? We have a fun nutrition topic for the podcast today, but before we get into this, I just want to say that CrossFit Max is closing in on nearly 100 members, which blows my mind in this 15 months of being open that our gym and our community is growing this big and this large. So I just want to take a second to thank you all who have referred your friends, your family, your neighbors, your colleagues. And if you know anyone that could benefit from taking their health a little bit more serious, then feel free to send them our way. We offer a free one-on-one assessment with one of our coaches. It's nothing intense. We'll take them through a tour of the facility, talk to them about their goals, tell them a little bit about what CrossFit is, get them moving, and simply just showing them that CrossFit can be fun and for anyone. And it'll bring us one step closer to 100. All right, let's get into the podcast. 3, 2, 1. We're live. What's up, guys?
Hi, everybody. Susie here.
And Brandon. Oh boy, you're already kicking me, love.
I haven't moved. You kicked me. You are fidgeting.
Darn, I should have got set before. Well, anyways, Susie
This
is in
is
a
where my feet were.
Susie is in a very loving mood this morning.
Tell them why.
I don't know, just because you love me so much. You just did a really fun workout with the 9 a.m. crew.
I did. It was fun.
It's Friday. We're recording this on a Friday. You guys obviously get to listen to this on Wednesday. Early morning, you all wake up at 4 a.m. just to listen. Actually, Mel, one of our clients, Mel Duchesne, wrote to me last week saying, by the way, I listened to the podcast, and I am one of those people that listens to it before 6 a.m. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to Mel.
So I'm so sorry you're hearing this right now, Mel. I wish you were in bed, but you're not.
Hey, we had a fun guest come in the other day. The owner of CrossFit Pancor came in.
Ooh.
So I got to meet him.
What's his name?
His name is Samuel. Oh, I don't want to butcher his last name. I actually can't remember his last name.
The last name.
Anyways,
his name's Sam.
Sam, yeah. Super nice guy. He just opened his box about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And he
August. August is a good month to open a gym. So I've heard.
Yeah. And it was really, really fun. He just, had a lot of questions. It was really cool to get to know him, get to know his background, his coaching background, his CrossFit background, what he's doing with the gym right now.
I feel like it is such a compliment to our business when other CrossFit gyms reach out to us for insight.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we are only still a baby ourselves, but to feel that we have acquired enough knowledge over the last year and a bit of being open that we can kind of share that and maybe potentially help another gym is really fun to know.
Yeah. As we were discussing, he was talking to me about the obvious growing pains at the beginning.
Yeah, we've been there.
And it was really interesting to have these types of conversations because I feel like we're so hungry and we just want to grow like the biggest, most fun community here possible.
Right.
And we're still like trying to grind it every day. And it's interesting because some of the things that he said, we have gone through the exact same situation.
Yeah.
For example, one of the things when you open up a gym, you wish that there was a lineup of people out your door ready to take all your classes. But the reality is that
doesn't happen.
That is not the case. And people just don't know who you are. So you have to market yourself and you have to, it just takes time for people to.
And while you are accumulating clients, your group classes sometimes end up being private trainings.
Yeah, exactly. So he was saying like a lot of my group class, I have like one person, 2 people. He said that he's used to coaching like 15 people group classes, and he's like, now I'm just doing like private one-on-one sessions, like 2 people show up. For the price of
a group class.
Yeah. So
it's brutal. We've been there.
I remember coming at 6 a.m., showing up at 6 a.m., and no one showing up.
0 people.
You wake up at 4:30 in the morning to do the to get to the gym for 5:45, and you show up, and that one person that was signed up cancels, and you're like, darn.
And then 9 a.m. rolls around and only Sheldon showed up when we first
true.
opened.
That's true. I have some photos actually of him doing some like lunges, actually walking lunges. But yeah, just a random thought that appeared in my mind because I was going through old footage from last year. But yeah, no, it was really cool to just help guide him on some of the things that we've worked on really hard. And one of the questions he asked, he's like, when did you start to see like a momentum kick in, or like, when did the gym kind of take that big leap forward? And I actually realized like I never really thought that, although our gym is really, really thriving now.
Yeah.
I'm just so hungry, and I'm always like,
it doesn't
we want
feel
more.
like we're there yet. No.
Yeah. I was like, I want more. I want 200 members in our gym, But then to reflect on that and be like, yeah, it's true. Like I do remember having like 1 to 2 people per class, and thinking to myself, oh, I can't wait for this gym to have like 10 people in a group class. And now we have many, many classes throughout the week where we have 10 to 12 people. Tomorrow we have a class of 24 people come in. So it's really, really cool to reflect and be like, like we're actually on the right track. It's cool to help provide some insight and some guidance on a newer CrossFit gym. And
I really appreciate, really nice.
I really appreciate him even reaching out and asking these questions. We're always open to helping out a local business, especially another CrossFit gym.
100%. I think that's like something that's so awesome is that CrossFit Max has such a tight-knit community, but there is a larger CrossFit community outside of CrossFit Max, and it's fun to be a part of that as well.
Yeah.
So cool. And it's great to see like there are more CrossFit gyms popping up, and that is really, really good news for all of us.
CrossFit.
More people doing CrossFit, the better.
CrossFit is booming right now, and I love it.
Yeah, same. This is exciting.
Yeah.
Fun times ahead.
Okay, banter topic complete. Thanks.
Client of the week.
No, we want to do client of the week now. No, we got to do it at the end. No?
I think we should do it now.
We should do it now.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right, client of the week. We're jumping in right here. Susie's really excited here. Before we even get into our nutrition topic, we are going to shout out. We're going to shout out someone who has been a client of CrossFit Max since day one of us opening.
Yep.
And she's also been a personal client to mine for a couple of years as well. Before that, she started CrossFit right before the pandemic when I was coaching at another gym.
Perfect timing.
And then, then unfortunately we had all the gyms closed down and everything. And then she just worked with me personally online and did like a lot of trainings in her condo, which was really, really impressive. And that client is Sarah Holt.
Woo! Sarah Holt for the win.
Sarah is an absolute joy of a person to be coaching. She's
awesome.
Always comes in with a smile on her face.
And pink leggings.
And she's always wearing pink, which we absolutely love. She is also British, so she has that beautiful accent.
She's such a cute accent. I love it.
Soft spot for the British accent, that's for sure.
Yeah,
or the
feels like home to me.
I guess it's English accent, right? That's the proper way of saying it.
So. I don't know.
The proper way.
Yeah, don't do that.
But yeah, Sarah doesn't only show up to the gym consistently throughout the week.
She's so consistent, and she's always early when she comes.
Super early.
She always works on extra stuff when she's here.
She's pushing hard inside the training sessions as well. She always wants to learn as well. I love this. She's really like what we call a thinking athlete, where she's trying to like get to learn a lot and really apply what she's learning from the coaches skills to her actual like either weight training or gymnastics. She's been working on her gymnastics quite a bit
her pull-ups
recently.
Are really coming along.
And it was really cool to see because she's the type of athlete that has really, really good upper body strength because she's done high level competitive rowing.
Right.
Dragon boats and stuff like that.
That is so cool, by
the
way.
So her upper body strength is really, really good, and she has the ability to do like a strict pull-up. But when it comes to like the actual gymnastic mechanics of kipping pull-ups or toes to bar, she's been working on it. And this week was the first time that I was like, oh, damn, she's actually starting to like really get it now. And she was able to chain a few pull-ups in a row the other day.
That's such a fun moment.
Yeah, it's really cool. So,
anyways, so keep crushing it, Sarah.
Yeah, we love you. We enjoy having you in our community, and keep grinding it out here. All right. Banter topic over. Client of the week topic over. We're just doing a full checklist here.
Now, Let's talk about the good stuff.
Let's
The
talk.
meat and potatoes of today's episode.
Not sure what we're calling this title here, but you guys know that it's something about nutrition, probably balanced nutrition.
Or balanced health.
Balanced health. Whoa, health is too broad. We're talking more nutrition here.
Oh,
I guess we are talking about health.
I thought we were going to talk about all the different types.
True. So
Are we not on the same page right now? Are we attending two different podcast episodes?
So the main topic for today is going to be about the balanced approach to nutrition, and the way in which we look at nutrition is we look at it through like a holistic approach through like deep health, right? So we're looking at many different factors of the overall life, and what does it mean when we say balanced nutrition? Because you may have heard it online, you may heard from us this like balanced nutrition thing, like what does balance mean? So we're going to get into all that type of stuff.
Okay, so let's start talking about deep health first.
Let's talk about deep health. So when we are talking about this like concept of deep health and this holistic approach to nutrition, we're talking about 6 main aspects of life. And the first one, which is probably the most obvious, is the physical part of health. That is feeling vibrant, energized, and thriving, performing and functioning well, and all that stuff, like whether that's like weight loss or weight gain or muscle, body composition and all that stuff. So that's the physical side of health. So that's number 1. Number 2 is the emotional side of things. So like experiencing a full range of emotions and expressing them appropriately. So it's okay to feel sad and okay to feel anger or other types of more negative emotions, we'll call them. But we want to be able to feel most of the time the more positive emotions. We want to feel happy and satisfied and all the good emotions, and we want to be able to feel like we are in control of those emotions. The other one is
there's a few days every month that no woman feels in control of those emotions, but we do feel all of them.
The other one is the environmental. So just like knowing your everyday surroundings, your support, your health, and your well-being. So all the things that are like around your environment. And that can change from not just person to person, but that could change city to city, country to country, different cultures. Luckily, we live in Canada where there's so many different types of cultures. Environmental plays a huge role on where you are in life right now, but it has a massive impact in terms of your deep health. The other one is the mental aspect of things. So, the emotional is how we feel. Mental is more like being alert, focused, competent, and thoughtful, learning, remembering, and then being able to solve problems as well.
Being able to use your brain.
Yeah, which we do this when we think about this, we're thinking more of the career aspect of things. So like when we're at work or when we're studying at school, but there is a decent amount of thought process that goes on inside your training as well.
When you're strategizing your workout. For example, what we said is when Sarah's going to like her gymnastics, like she's trying to actually learn how her body is moving and learning what the coach is talking about. So this mental aspect goes inside the gym as well, but also outside as well. The other thing is the existential. This is number 5, is feeling a sense of meaning and purpose in life, feeling like you can set goals and accomplish those goals. I feel like this is something that people don't talk about enough.
The existential side?
Yeah. I think that this was like a aha moment for me when you talked about this for the first time, because I just think that people don't really take into consideration that waking up and feeling like you have a purpose and being driven towards something that's greater than you or whatever it is going to make such an impact on whether you're fulfilled or not in your life.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, for sure. Continue. It's definitely something that people should be talking about more, and like also setting goals. People like sometimes set these goals that might be way too aggressive. And feel like they could never really hit that. The most common in like the fitness world is like, I want to lose 20 pounds.
Let's start with 5.
Let's start with 5. Yeah, let's get to 5 pounds. And the last one, the 6th one, being relational. So being connected and authentic with others, feeling supported and feeling like you belong, having good friendships, That could also be your family, your partner, and all that stuff. So those are the 6 aspects of what we consider like deep health. And when we're talking about how nutrition plays a role in here, what we're trying to do is we're trying to balance all aspects of life, all 6 parts of that health. Whereas you don't want someone to be really, really good on the physical side. They have like the body of their dreams, but emotionally they're unstable. Mentally they're feeling foggy, and like it's hard to concentrate at work. So when we're looking at balance, think of it these six buckets, and we want to try to have them all evenly laid out.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's one aspect of the balanced approach. The other part of balanced nutrition, which maybe most of us think about, is balanced nutrients, balanced macronutrients.
Okay.
So when we talk about our macronutrients, there's the 3 that we focus on in terms of food. There's protein, carbs, and fats. We don't really consider alcohol being the 4th one, and those are the only 4, but alcohol we don't really consider this in terms of like the nutrition side of things. We really try to focus on the other 3. And online we hear a lot about people doing like the ketogenic diet or cutting carbs out, or like, hey, I want to do high fat, low everything else. But when we're looking at a balanced approach, especially in today's society where we have access to almost all the food we possibly want, we're looking at finding the appropriate balance between all of those macronutrients to make us feel really, really good. So eating enough protein, eating enough fat, eating enough carbohydrates, and not necessarily looking at like, hey, like I need to cut out an entire macronutrient. I'm going to cut out all carbs, or oh no, consuming fat is really, really bad for you. I need to have, that's kind of like the older one from maybe a couple decades ago, whereas fat will make you fat, don't consume fat, and we still kind of have a little bit of that thought process. But so just looking at like balanced macronutrients throughout your nutrition.
Gotcha.
Add anything to that?
Well, I'm just trying to piece together like where we're going with this, because obviously like this is your wheelhouse of a topic, and I'm just sort of an accessory to the podcast episode. But what I'm trying to figure out here is we talked about the 6 aspects of deep health, and now we're talking about literally balancing like a plate of food.
Yeah.
How are they connected?
Yeah. So for example, let's talk about if we were to want to build a proper body composition, or the body composition of your dreams.
Okay, love it.
We could completely eliminate a single macronutrient, right? We could completely remove carbohydrates out of our diet, because actually physically we cannot remove protein or fat. If we remove those or one of those, we will literally die. Start to get really unhealthy first. We'll get sick first, and then eventually you would actually die if you just removed it.
So hypothetically,
but if you were to like look at like an
cutthroat
unbalance, and you're just like, hey, like I just want to like cut out this entire macronutrient. I want to cut out carbohydrates. Right. If you look at the certain aspects of the deep health, for example.
Okay.
If you're with so how would that impact? Let's say you're with a partner, you're with your family, you're living with your family here, and your family isn't following that exact...
They're all eating carbs, and I'm not eating carbs.
Exactly. So
now they're pissed at me because I have to have a separate dinner.
Exactly. So the relational side of things starts to get a little bit off.
But I have a 6-pack, so I'm like...
Physical is great. Relational starts to be a little bit iffy.
My brain gets
maybe
foggy.
At the beginning, your brain will start to get foggy until your body eventually adjusts, and then you will be okay. But there's going to be other aspects of the deep health that will be starting to get affected by that. There's also the environmental side of things, right? Like you're surrounded by fast food restaurants all the time. So you're going to parties probably, and you're like, nope, can't eat this, can't eat that. You're driving by things. You're always eliminating things.
Okay, like this connection.
So there is going to be starting to, in the other buckets, the 6 buckets, let's say you'll start, maybe your physical will go up, but then maybe the emotional side, the relational side,
like at what cost?
The environmental side will start to be affected a little bit. So there's that aspect
Right.
as well, right? There's also the side of things where it's like, okay, like when we're talking about balance, we also want to like balance the appropriate energy systems that we have, right? So we want to make sure we're consuming enough calories on a day-to-day basis. If we start to go on, if we're balancing our nutrition, right? If we're balancing our energy consumption, then we are going to match the energy output in life. So meaning we're going to eat enough calories to consume in a day that's going to help us go train at the gym, concentrate at work.
Yep.
Hang out with our friends,
stuff like that. Yep.
Recover well from our workouts, sleep really well at night. So all those things, if we're consuming enough calories and we're feeling a balanced approach and we have the body composition we want, then that's kind of the goal that we're looking for. We're looking for you to feel really good in all aspects of your life here.
Optimal health here is where we're not filling one bucket completely to the top.
Yep.
We're making sure that we're being mindful of how what we put on our plate not only impacts our physical body, but all the other aspects of our health, our deep health.
Yep.
Gotcha.
The other thing that I was going to say is like if we throw off that energy balance, right? If like let's say we want to start, which is the case for a lot of people, we want to start to change body compositions, we want to start to lose a little bit of weight, then we can start to tip the balance a little bit, right? And we can start consuming a little bit less energy, but you just need to be aware that okay, the other buckets are going to start to suffer a little bit from that. You're going to, like if you're under consuming,
that's why like
calories,
flash diets are not good.
Yeah, exactly. If you're consuming like less calories, your body's going to be hungry more often. You're going to feel a little bit more cranky. You're going to feel more negative emotions. You're going to feel a little bit more.
Why are you smiling at me when you say the word cranky?
You're going to feel a little bit more lethargic, less energy. You're under recovering from your workouts.
Right.
So, and then on the flip side of things, which is the unfortunate situation, is that most people are in a surplus of calories. Hopefully not our listeners here, because our listeners are a little bit more
listening and they know better.
A little bit more mindful of their nutrition and they're training hard. But the average person, unfortunately, is now overweight and they're over consuming energy, aka calories. So then when you overconsume, your physical is the first thing that you'll start to notice. You start to gain weight. You'll start to feel joint pain. You'll feel like walking is hard, or maybe like any sort of physical activity starts to become a little bit more challenging.
Then you get sluggish,
energy levels dropping.
Your social life gets impacted. Your relationships are impacted.
Yeah.
Then you start to think poorly of yourself. So your emotions and your mental get impacted.
Confidence goes down.
Yeah.
So
you feel like lack of purpose. Yeah.
There's this few aspects of like balanced nutrition that we're looking at. It's like, okay, we want to balance our lifestyle. We want to balance our lifestyle because we want to feel good in all aspects of deep health.
Right.
We want to balance our plates, our food
like
consumption to help
meals.
Exactly, to help how we're feeling, how we're looking, how we are mentally feeling sharp, how we're feeling purposeful in life, and we're able to accomplish goals and target and smash those goals.
Right. That's why our CrossFit Max's general approach to nutrition is it is a forever long game.
Yeah.
This is not something where it's like 30 days and you're going to lose all this weight and blah, 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 because those are not things that are going to be sustainable over time. Nope. And therefore, you're just going to upset the balance in your life of your 6 pillars of deep health. Yeah. And then maybe you will satisfy a physical health after 30 days of a flash diet, but all the other things are going to be screwed. So then when your 30 days is done, you're going to try and fill up those other buckets, and therefore your physical is just going to go back down to where it was. Yep. And you're going to be in this like cycle of crash dieting.
Yep.
Which is not what we want.
Definitely do not want that.
This is the opposite of what we want. What we want is, let's find an approach where we can be really mindful about what we're eating, making sure we're eating good quality foods and we're eating a good combination of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And then when we take that approach, it allows us to fulfill all of our health needs and not just the physical body health need.
Yeah. And then the other I guess the final aspect of like the balanced approach is the part of like eating healthy food versus, let's say, eating a little bit less healthy food, right? Things that we
Right.
should be eating more of and things that we should be eating less of. And going back to like the crash diets, if we look at, actually we did a podcast on the difference between like training versus exercise. It's kind
Right.
of the same thing, it's same comparison between like dieting versus nutrition. Like nutrition is that full life ahead. You want to start making like good habits to build on your nutrition lifestyle so that you're feeling good and feeling balanced in all aspects of life.
Right.
Versus diets like restrict, this is bad, feel guilty about these things, don't eat these
Terrible.
things, you know, like, oh, like I had a cheat meal, you know. Whereas like we want to try to find that balance where, hey, it's
Just like living
it's
your
okay.
life.
It's okay if you have pizza. It's okay if you have a donut. It's okay
I
if you
know
have some
people
candy.
always say to Brandon and I, like, "Oh, you're gonna judge me. Like, I had pizza."
Yeah.
Newsflash: we eat pizza too. Like,
Yeah. So finding that appropriate balance. Now you just need to know that the balance for this approach is we want to be eating mostly good foods, mostly whole, unprocessed, natural foods.
yeah, that you're like cooking for yourself at home and you're controlling your portion sizes and making sure you're getting adequate amounts of protein.
Yeah. And if you want to have a pizza, it's okay. Don't feel guilty. Don't hate yourself for it. It's totally fine.
And just know that when you're eating the pizza, that it's
It's a treat.
a treat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not the day-to-day food that you're going to reach for.
Yeah.
But when you do reach for it, enjoy it.
Yeah.
And don't beat yourself up about it. But then the next day or the next meal that you
Next
have,
meal.
the next, I'm just assuming pizza
Yeah.
was a nighttime food. That's why.
Yeah.
But like whatever next meal you're eating,
Mm-hmm.
we're back on our regular programming of mainly whole foods with a really
Mm-hmm.
nice balanced plate. And that one pizza is not going to damage your entire life of quality foods.
Exactly. So maybe we'll give him some like practical stuff here to end the podcast. So like when you're looking down, we're obviously talking about lifestyle and how this affects all aspects of your life. But when it comes down to is what are you going to cook? What is going to be
Right.
the food in front of your face on the plate that you're about to consume here? Typically, what we want to do is protein is the most important macronutrient. So you need to have a protein source on your plate. Again, we're looking for a protein source, a fat source, and a carbohydrate source. So in terms of like protein, we're looking at any sort of like meat. We're looking at chicken, steak, or any sort of beef. We're looking at pork, or if you're a vegetarian, you could go for like a tofu, or we're looking at
Tempeh or
eggs.
something.
We're looking at Greek yogurt, even like a protein powder if you're making a smoothie. You want there to be a good source of dense protein on your plate. After that, you want to find some sort of healthy carbohydrate source. So something, again, that is more on the whole food side. Potatoes, or what I like to think about is try to aim for plant-based on this side of things. So any sort of fruit, right? Berries, banana, apple, kiwis, any sort of fruit, have a little bit of fruit. Or there's the starchier side of things where there's like potatoes, there's white rice, quinoa. I'm trying to think. Oats are a great one as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to have a good main source of protein. You want to have some carbohydrates. And then you also want to have some sort of fat in that meal. That could be on the side. That could be something like nuts, right? Or even seeds. It could be avocado. It could even be potentially an oil that you cooked with, like an extra virgin olive oil or an avocado oil.
If you're eating like a steak or something, there's going to be fat on it.
Yeah. Most meat sources, or actually all meat sources, have some fat. There's leaner sources like fish, for example, or chicken breast. Well, some fishes can be fattier, but there's some leaner sources of fish, chicken breast. So yeah, there's definitely going to be some fat, but you still want to have a little bit of like an actual fat content. So whether you're cooking, yeah, cheese is a good one as well, like old aged cheddar cheese.
We love our cheddar cheese in our house.
If you want to have if you're having Greek yogurt as like your protein source, you can even get like a full fat Greek yogurt that has protein and fat in it as well.
Good.
So just giving you guys an idea of like things that you should be looking down at every single meal. Okay, what am I looking for? I'm looking for 3 main things. I'm looking for a good, dense source of protein. I'm looking for a healthy fat. And I'm looking for like some sort of smart carbohydrate. And when we're talking about carbohydrates also, we're looking for like, when we're looking at our plate, is we're looking for lots of colors, guys.
Yes.
You want to see lots of colors. Lots of colors on your plate mean lots of vitamins, lots
Nature's
of
medicine.
minerals.
We talked about this last episode.
Nature's medicine. Yeah. Like you want to look down. It doesn't have to be a salad per se, but if you're looking down, you're like, okay, I have this chicken breast and then I have this beautiful orange sweet potato. Oh, and then I have some vegetables on the side of this, some like dark leafy greens or maybe some asparagus. Oh, I put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on my asparagus to cook or on my potato, whatever that is. You just want to see like vibrant colors, or throwing some blueberries on your plate. Or if you're having like a Greek yogurt and you want to put fruit inside your Greek yogurt, you get lots of colors. You put some oats with that Greek yogurt, you're getting more colors. You want to see predominantly whole foods that come from nature.
My mouth
Ask yourself,
is watering.
did this food come from nature or did it come from a factory?
Right.
And if the food came from a factory, you want to just be eating less of it. You want to be more mindful of that stuff. And the healthier that food will be, the more balanced your plate will be, the better energy balance you're going to have, the better physical, emotional, mental, all those things will have much more balance. Hormones will be balanced. We talked about immune system in the last podcast.
Very important. A lot of people have been falling sick.
Creating like a really healthy immune system, a balanced immune system. We're talking about skin health. We're talking about bone health as well, joint health. We're talking about building the body composition that you want to build and maintaining a healthy body weight as well. So when we're looking at our meals, a lot of people are like, well, what is like the recipe? It's like, I don't really look at recipes. I don't try to find recipes. I just try to create meals.
Balanced
I try
meals,
I try to find a protein source, a carb source, and a fat source, and I try to build beautiful meals around all 3 of those aspects. Does that kind of clear things up on that side of things?
I feel
Should
like
I add anything to that?
I feel like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I really do like that we talked about the deep health and how you can't have tunnel vision when it comes to making lifestyle changes, because then sometimes you can neglect the other things.
Yeah.
If you don't choose a way of creating your balanced nutrition plates that is going to be realistic for your lifestyle, it's not going to work. If it means that you have to cook a separate meal for yourself and your family, like that's not going to be sustainable. So like choosing something that's going to satisfy all of your health needs, from having a balanced plate, from being able to eat dinner with your family and connect with your partner and whatever,
feel like you can accomplish goals and
get your workday finished on time and all those types of things. They're all like super connected.
Yeah.
And so
Sleeping
like pouring too much into one cup is just going to cause like an imbalance, and then something has to give somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think just being conscious of that when we're making our choices, like doesn't have to be this perfection. Nutrition doesn't have to be this like hardcore, like all or nothing situation. Yeah. Just view it as sort of, it's just how you live.
Yep.
And sometimes there's a birthday party and you enjoy that birthday party. And sometimes there's not, and you enjoy a Sunday doing meal prep.
Yeah.
Just
balance.
Yeah. I think that's the key. The key today.
I think the big takeaway is that people look at like nutrition as the physical bucket. Yeah. And forget that nutrition plays a role in everything. How you feel.
Yes.
How you're thinking, how you're driven in terms of like the purpose or the goals that you want to accomplish in life. Like there's so much
it helps
aspects.
You like build connections. Like how many good chats do you have over like a nice meal with your family?
How you're feeling at work or school, studying and all that stuff. So hopefully you guys got some good value out of this. If you want to share it with someone, we would greatly appreciate it.
Please do that.
And I guess we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in today.
All right. See you next one.
See ya.
Bye.